The Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, in partnership with the Geneva-based International Trade Center and the European Union, will implement a €3.5 million project to develop the coconut industry in the Caribbean. The project seeks to enhance competitiveness of small-scale coconut farmers by identifying market opportunities, developing chain values, creating synergies between national and regional programs, and improving access to advisory services for improved production, among others. The Ministry of Agriculture has embarked on a replanting drive in the coconut sector. Barry Innocent is the Deputy Director of Agricultural Services.
The first phase of the program, most of the coconut plants was taken from local supplies, and they were mostly for fresh coconut water supplies, and they were distributed through CARDI, Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute. In phase 2, we're looking at the way forward, and in phase 2, because of the threat of leafy yellow disease, which is a disease that can destroy the coconut industry, a disease caused by a pathogen called mycoplasma and carried by a vector called a leafhopper. In our development of phase 2, we are now trying to get leafy yellow disease resistant coconut plants from Mexico, and we're working in collaboration with the Mexican embassy, the Mexican government, and ICA to make this happen.
Those plants are expected here from Mexico by July.
When they arrive, they have to go through a process of weaning, hardening, and then prepared for planting on the fields and distribution to the various coconut stakeholders, more so coconut farmers. When they arrive, we hope to give some to coconut farmers and to some youth in agriculture and a few schools to generally encourage replanting of the coconuts, but this time also with the leafy yellow disease resistant varieties. Most of the coconut trees on island are of the variety called Atlantic Tall, and they are very old. And they have reached the age of diminishing returns. They are very aged, old trees, so the level of production is a lot less now. So we hope in this replanting program, phase 2 and phase 1 would cause us to increase the number of trees planted on the ground.
Minister Moses Jabati says there is tremendous potential for the sector.
I'm very pleased that many people in St. Lucia are employed in the coconut subsector, the coconut vendors all around Castries, Vieux Fort, Soufrière, in all of the towns of St. Lucia. We have more and more St. Lucians who are turning to fresh coconut water for health purposes, but also just to refresh themselves. And I'm very pleased about that. I have met some of the vendors, and just today we were going around and we spoke to a coconut vendor who has been employed in this subsector for over 5 years. So it is very important for us as a government. We want to continue to encourage the planting of acres and acres of fresh nuts, and we do recognize that there's an opportunity there for employment and also for nutrition, good nutrition for the people of St. Lucia.
More than 5,000 trees have been replanted.
My dream is to see coconuts replanted all around the beaches of St. Lucia. Everywhere you go around St. Lucia's beaches, we should see coconuts being replanted. We should see coconuts being planted in school yards. We should see coconuts being planted in the homes of individuals who have the space. And we are really pushing to cause all of St. Lucia to replant coconuts, as we know that there are tremendous benefits. Not only the freshwater benefits, as I've said before, but also the possibility to make virgin coconut oil and other coconut oils that are in high demand on the world market, and also for our own food security in St. Lucia.
The farmers involved in coconut say the sector has proven to be quite beneficial.
Where I have about 20 coconut plants, which I use to gain some extra income. I sell them to farmers who buy to sell by the roadside, and I also bottle and sell to my clients. Presently, I believe that there's a very wide market for fresh coconuts. However, I believe that the way it's being marketed presently is not very professional. For example, we could use other creative ways in order to attract more clients. For example, presently it's only being sold with bottles. People only sell them in bottles. We could also get, for example, plastic glasses with ice and straws and sell it to them. And we could also use the jelly to do like coconut with chili, which I learned from a Mexican friend. So there are other initiatives which we could use to market the coconut products much better.
And I have in banana field and I planting coconut all around it. And now I planting new ones. And especially when the trees start getting tall, I planting new trees just underneath it or sit in the sun. So that when the new ones start coming up to a certain height, it's about to shoot out. I cut the tall one. So I always having coconut non-stop. Instead of reach to a certain level, people cannot pick it anymore, and it reach a standard where it cannot make big coconut. So I always plant new coconut, and I have roughly like 60 or 70 trees coconut. I sell it for the vendors, and I myself drink the coconut very well because I go on my farm with the bottles. Instead of buying juice, I cut my coconut and I fill my bottles. I put it in my fridge. When I have in my lunch or my whatever, I take a nice glass of coconut. And apart from that, when you drink the coconut, you can see the result right away with your urine when you pee. So I think coconut is one of the most important things.
The regional workshop will be held at the Cocoa Palm Resort in Rodney Bay on April 28th through to the 29th from 9 a.m. on both days. Complete Marine Services Limited has been awarded a contract to build 2 new jetties in Savants Bay and Praune Bay by the Ministry of Agriculture. The Infrastructure Minister, Philip Pierre, says the first phase of construction, that is 2 concrete abutments, has been completed. He says while there was a delay in getting the project underway, government will deliver.